Good evening. Today I speak of my motivations. Many have asked me, after commenting on the risks I was taking during the Senate campaign, what enabled me to keep going, what the driving force was, what the source of strength and courage was to overcome the death threats, physical attacks, and slow death by a million cuts of my former personal life. Let me tell you, when I woke up to the nature of the problem facing our people, I was born again, and not in the blood of some sacrificial creature from Levantine mythology, but born again in the blood of my people. As a child, I could feel something that words could not describe. It was fleeting, a feeling of bliss, safety, and comfort. Sometimes I would daydream as a child. I had dreams of beautiful landscapes and natural settings, and this blanket of bliss would come over me. These are the feelings of a child in a loving community, where the tight-knit bonds of the society produce this bliss. Children ran up and down the streets of my neighborhood. All neighbors' doors were open to anyone. The roadsides were clean, and there was no crime. I bathed every day in the radiant light of the gift that my forefathers had built for me, my beautiful community of my people. I heard how men had died to secure this paradise that I inherited as my birthright. The blanket I felt was the love of my people, and my love for them, in a place which our rulers tell us we must now never allow again to exist in the future because of its inherent evil. However happy we were, not causing harm to others, we were being targeted for destruction. The destruction of this happy place of refuge for children, such as myself, was being plotted by an evil tribe, that had destroyed countless paradises of disparate peoples in the past. A tribe of evil trolls like I had learned about in my preschool, who, lurking in the shadows, envied all people more happy and beautiful than themselves, and wished their destruction. This grim reaper of paradises of respective peoples throughout history is expert at its craft, honing its nation-wrecking with each successful civilization it destroys. I think now of the happy blanket that I so loved as a child, the one passed down by my fathers, and the feeling of this blanket being pulled away from our children. I think now of how this blanket will not be there for me to pass on to my children unless this evil tribe is stopped. We are not the only people whose paradise is being destroyed. These evil trolls think that the whole world is their inheritance, and they are the masters of lies and deception. The same people who run all the media and social media, who control the money in the banks, who control what is taught to our children in the schools, they are the same people that are shooting pregnant women in the womb in the land they are stealing to make their world capital. They openly brag that there will be none of us left alive in a few generations, and that we should be happy about this. They tell me the paradise I grew up in was actually hell, and that the blanket of love from my people was actually a cloak of supremacy built from the threads of all the people we had oppressed. We are told that we will cease to exist, and that this is a good thing. We are told that none of our children must ever be allowed to be free, happy, or unmolested. We are told that we must die out to be moral. And we are told all of these things by Jews. I have went forth into the maelstrom of hatred, violence, and deprivation I knew the Jews would foist upon myself and my family, not because I believe I was earning some intangible prize in some other world, but because I see what things look like further down the road when Jews are left in power. I look to South Africa, the early Soviet Union, pre and post World War II Germany, to Palestine, to all of the places where Jews killed dozens of millions of people, all the while telling them that their people's destruction serves some sort of higher good, a Jewish good. I have done what I do and will continue to do what I do, not because of the promise of infinite pleasure and happiness in some afterlife, but because what is coming here on earth for ourselves, for our children, is worse than the hell described in the Bible, because nobody knows how to torture and inflict suffering like the Jews do. Because I will not pursue my own personal good in this life or some other life when doing so is tantamount to condemning my children, your children, the world's non-Jewish children, to slavery and suffering. I do this out of moral and logical imperative, because of my objectivity of thought and love of others. I do this because I am social, and I do this in the hopes that my doing so will inspire the rest of you to action, to carry out the will of your people, whichever people it is you belong to. We are all Palestinians now, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner the Jewish tyrants can be named and deposed, and the sooner the children being born into this world will have a fighting chance of being able to bask in the love of their own people. We can overcome this evil only if enough of you are willing to overcome your own self-interest, only if you are willing to die for what is right and stop that which is evil, the Jewish world power which destroys everything beautiful in this world. And that was my thoughts. I've been listening to Ravello P. Oliver and thinking, what source of strength can can our people have in the face of this monstrous attack on everything beautiful in this world being launched and led by this terrible Jewish world power? And you have to think, what is it that's beautiful in life? It's the bliss and peace of children. That's what's worth dying for. And that is ultimately what we all remember in our lives. That is what we reach back to. Our happiness, the happiness and innocence of a child, which is being deprived to all of the world now. I've been reading Ravello P. Oliver's book and learning quite a bit. Um, it's pretty interesting to learn that in 1949, the Congress introduced a bill which would arrest every member of the Jewish ADL as subversives. It's interesting to know this. This is pretty powerful stuff, but you've never heard of this. Too many people sought their own comfort. Too many people wanted to work with the Jewish moneylenders, and not enough people wanted to do what was right. The whole time, people were waiting for others to wake up. There were countless, thousands of Americans that knew of the Jewish causing of World War II, that knew of the slaughter of over 50 million people committed by the Jews prior to World War II. And yet none of them did anything. Joe McCarthy did so, but only with dog whistles, because all of this time we allowed Jews in the media, Jews in culture, Jews that we knew infiltrated our organizations to frame what was moral and what was not. And they framed anything that would remove them from power right out of the possible conversation or arguments. Nobody knows how to torture and kill like Jews. Nobody. I've been studying them. They're the world's foremost experts on torture and killing, and they are expert efficient at it. The world that is coming, if these Jews are left in power, we are morally derelict if we leave these Jews in power. We are morally derelict if we don't put our own individual interests aside and worry about having a decent future for all of the world's children, for all peoples, including the Palestinians, including the Syrians. These Jews wish the destruction of all peoples but their own. They believe that the world is theirs to inherit. And while it may not be every single Jew, ultimately that is a moot point. It's the Jews that are in power. And this is true. There's no denying this. You can say whatever you want in the chat, you can say whatever you want against what I'm saying, but you know deep inside that this is the truth, and no one knows this is the truth more so than Jews. And if you see Jews denying what I'm saying, call them lying Jews, because they know they're lying. Anyhow, that's about it. Um, if you're awake and you're not doing anything but just watching live streams or um, reading books, you should be reading books with a purpose. Are you taking from the books and the podcast you're reading or listening to, are you taking from them those things which you know would wake up your neighbor, that would wake up your brother, that would wake up your sister? What are you doing to save the world from these evil Jews? What are you doing? Are you mentally masturbating while you listen to e-celebrities chat, or are you writing down notes? Are you thinking about, what would wake up the guy in the office cubicle next to me? What does he hold dear in this world that the Jews are destroying? You better be writing down anything that you think would be palatable to him. Your neighbor, women that run daycares, nursery schools, tell them about how the Jews are shooting pregnant Palestinians in the stomach. Tell them about how the Jews nailed babies to crosses when they took power in Soviet Russia. Talk about how even little baby Anastasia was raped and killed by Jews in front of in front of the final Tsar Nicholas II. There is a button that enables people to act in the interest of the good. You need to find that button and press it. What do they love in this world? I can guarantee you the Jews are working on destroying it. Have to figure out what people love. And when you listen to audiobooks or you read books, you'd better be taking notes. Hey, this could wake up this neighbor. This could help save this person I know that's brainwashed by Jews from their further deception. You have to constantly be thinking. Think of yourself as an apostle of the truth, and the Jews as a father of the lie. Jews say up is down, left is right, boys are girls, girls are boys, and that good is bad. Jews are the merchants of sin, I guess you could say if you're a Christian. Jews are the masters of the lie. And once you realize what Jews are saying at face value, once you realize that they're openly calling for people's genocides, once you realize that they openly admit to the world that they think they're chosen above all others to rule over everyone else as animals, and that they can take our organs from us because we're not human, you are morally obligated to name the Jew in the best way possible to anyone in your life. Have you tried red pilling your mother? Have your father? Naming the Jew to someone is the same as telling them that you love them. If you say, "You, sir, let me tell you of how the Jews are destroying the things that you love," that's the same as going up to them and giving them a big hug and telling them that you love them, because you're doing them good. You're showing them the truth. Anyhow, that's about it. I was going through my campaign mail from the Senate, and I'm just now starting to write a lot of responses, and a lot of people have put a lot of faith into me, and they've written some very moving things. But my answer is going to be that the answer lies in you. The answer to the Jew lies in you, and you have the power to wake up at least one other person next week. How many people could you spread the good word to in the next 3 weeks? Think about this. It's exponential. If you just get out there and you focus on what's important, if you focus on the truth, you can get the word out. Be effective. Think about it like you're a salesman and you're trying to sell someone the cure to a disease they have, which they're convinced is poison. You're trying to do them good while they're scared of what you're trying to give them. You're trying to give them that what they need to survive. You're trying to give them that which they need to secure the existence of their children's future. And although the Jews have convinced everyone that the truth is poison, just remember when you go out there that the Jews say that up is down and left is right. The Jews say that slavery is freedom. Yeah, that's about it. I just thought I'd write that little bit. And just remember, if you allow the Jews to destroy everything beautiful in this world, then what type of world do you deserve to live in? And you're going to wind up living in a hell on earth, just like the Jews have been able to bring into existence every place where they're left in power long enough. Have a good night, and don't forget to name the Jew to everyone you care about. Do you have a phone call you need to make now? Good night.